social purpose of government. You say, no, we are not certainly not producing no rice at home. Let's import abroad and duty free. And as a consequence, we saw the price of these items coming down. But I don't want to know this 5%. Is it really? It's not your decision. I guess my decision by that. Maybe they must have been consulted. Yeah, what do you think about it, sir? Personally, I thought it doesn't help us to make it for the hope of the locally assembled vehicles.
Features of the operations of single window between the customs and the internal revenue service.
Mr. Chairman, sir. Actually, sir, first I want to make some clarification. The Nigerian Customs Service have responsibility to the federation alone, and it also has to CRF. Now, our own concern is only on their responsibility to the CRF. Now, Nigerian Customs Service is a GOE, a government-owned enterprise scheduled to the Fiscal Responsibility Act. And if you are scheduled to that act, you are responsible to section 22, 23, and 24, which says you must pay operating surplus. Now, what does operating surplus imply? It just means excess of revenue over your expenditure, your operating expenditure. Operating surplus can be zero. So our own is just to let us see your books and let us compute that operating surplus. If there is no any excess, then there is no issue at all. And this is what we have been pursuing with customs service. Unfortunately, it has not been. The last audited account they submitted to us was 2019. We have been writing them 2019.
You mean they have not been auditing their accounts?
Well, we don't know. We have been.
It's your responsibility to know.
Yeah, well, we have beaten them, sir. We have beaten them over. I'm not saying alone, we have beaten them about 5 times. I know there was an intention to have a courtesy call. Unfortunately, it was not on. I think it was shifted or sold for our.
So is there any outstanding?
Yes, as of that 2019, as of the last audited account, we have 8.9 billion liability, which we have been writing them, we have been reminding them.
Can pay that one.
So that if we can come and sit with them. Now, the 4% cost of collection, that's what we are interested in. Let's see if there is anything remaining out of that. If you have spent all on your operation, then that means operating surplus is zero. So we can know that we cannot confirm that until we have seen your books. And that is what it says. If it's zero, that means there is no liability at all. So we are agreeing that if you can come in, let them submit their audited account. Let us sit for a calculation and establish the real position as far as operating surplus is concerned.
Thank you. I think every GOE or agency of government needs to, at the end of the year, at the beginning of the year, give the preceding audit of the previous years. So I don't know if customs is also doing that in terms of their audits. And then the issue of the single window that my colleague also asked, I think if truly Nigeria is able to implement that, we'll be able to checkmate so many of these things, and most of these questions might not even arise because the system will define itself. We have been to Singapore and we have seen how they operate, how the customs operate there. At the touch of a button, you'll be able to know everything that, and I believe it's the same with Nigerian customs as well. So, CD, you have the floor to just answer those questions.
the status as requested is that we are on course. We are on the second phase of the implementation. The steering office is with the NRS, Nigerian Revenue Service, but the platform has been up and running, and all systems of implementing agencies have been integrated onto that platform. A number of sensitization programs is being done periodically, different tiers of stakeholders, government agencies, importers, exporters, shipping companies, airlines, park authorities are already being sufficiently guided along, and they are all already interfacing on the system. So I would say that the status is that we are on the second phase. There has been some complaints here and there by some stakeholders who complain about some delays, some itches, and all of that. And this is not totally unexpected when you have a project of such gigantic nature. We have walked through very modernization programs before, big modernization programs. And we've taken our own lessons from the experience that we had when we want to switch from one legacy system to another, especially if it's technology related. So for customs, we have been one assisting the National Single Window Committee in dealing with those problems, especially those that has to do with managing the stakeholders and the complaints that they have. It is the only way forward for us to manage our trade in a very efficient and transparent manner. And I believe that by the time we see through some of these initial teething problems, our Nigerian economy will be more competitive and better for it. And that speaks to what Senator Oshomale talked about, raising concern over import duty, fiscal policy related to import duty, and the possibility of us shutting our doors to some of these imports. Well, we know that in modern international economic system, no country is an autarky. We cannot shut out completely to the rest of the world. This is why we find wisdom in what Mr. President did when he came to say that let us make Nigerian trade more competitive. Let us have that competitiveness in and around the ecosystem of trade. So all the things that speak to that, port decongestion, modernizing the port, modernizing the customs, introducing a single window, addressing the discussions in the exchange rate and all of that. So these are all things that is making trade more predictable, it's making trade facilitated and all of that. And the numbers speak to it. As we are having this increased number in imports, that is translating to higher import duty for us, our export numbers are also growing. So the report released by the Bureau of Statistics shows that we are now closing the gap between our import, between our imports and our exports. And if this continues, if this trajectory continues, I am sure eventually it will begin to have impact on the value of the naira itself. Because the more we export, the more we are going to be getting foreign exchange. So unlike before, from 2023, we have now established a command dedicated to managing exports. And our export numbers has grown by as much as 70% within the last 3 years. So it is not about just
import numbers.
Sorry?
Import numbers for the same period.
Exports.
So what of the import for the same period?
Yes, when you are comparing it, it will be bigger, definitely. We're importing machineries, we're importing raw materials, but I'm saying that our export numbers is not at the same level as it was. It is also growing.
You have to take that together.
Yes, so it's also growing. So it is our intention that we will do this to make Nigerian trade more competitive, so that exporters will also begin to have a slice of what is happening in international trade. Once again, and then the duty. The duty, I think this is, I'm happy you mentioned this, because the chairman raised the issue of how far we've gone with the revenue. Now, when we, this analogy is not right. It is about when policies come in, when already the target has been given. A fundamental change in policy comes in when already we have a target that we are working on. And that's one of this is that reduction in vehicles. In 2026, duty on vehicles constituted about 28% of our revenue. And now we are going to be dealing with lower duties and levies. Levies too was also reduced by 50%. It was 35%, it's now down to 10 or 15% for levies. Then customs duty is also reduced. But like we all know, some of these things have social effects. He talked about it. So Nigerians are clamoring that look, because of the exchange rates, because of the salaries, because of this, Nigerians need to have access to vehicles. So that's why government, in its wisdom, has decided to reduce the duty, and we do not have any options but to implement it.
Thank you, CG. I think you have operational.
Yes.
Okay, but as it is now, when you are talking about operations of customs, we are talking about revenue of revenue to do with revenue. Okay, please go ahead.
I want to commend you for.
No commendation, sir.
Okay,
Don't go to the question.
operationally, it is clear that the custom has done well, and that has also led to the increase in revenue. I'm trying to tie that to modernization, because some time ago we talked about it, and you mentioned the need for modernization, especially in the area of automation. I want to know how far you have gone in that, whether that is responsible for the enhancement in the area of revenue generation. Then two,
about that.
I don't know.
because of the border, the porous nature of our border and smuggling takes place in most of those gaps created by the nature of border we have. What interagency cooperation do you enjoy? And again, what role does technology play to that effect?
Distinguished Senator, I will only allow the city if you so wish to respond, but the issue of single window, I'm taking care of automation and technology issues. The porous nature of the borders that we can verify based on the report you will give us on the statistics, on the numbers. Because when we see the numbers, and you see that we know what is actually coming from borders, especially land borders, we know what the utility companies there. So from the summary he's going to present to us, we'll be able to know if the performance is very low, then that means something is wrong somewhere. And if the performance is high, I think there's an improvement. So, CD,
Express my gratitude through you, sir, to Senator Adamu Alero for not
confirming to us that
yes,
the chief.
Yes, for not forgetting what he learned several years ago, and now that he's operating at this level, he has provided us with support and guidance. We really appreciate it. Thank you very much. The issue that was raised by modernization does help us. There is no doubt about it. And for customs, where fears has been expressed that it will lead to downsizing and all of that, it has not happened. Modernization has been, we found it very, very helpful. Our payment system has improved. Our declaration system has improved. So I think technology has helped us. Now we are even using technology now in enforcement. We are using geospatial intelligence to lead patrol. It gives us the right kind of intelligence that we need. Just 2 weeks ago, we launched Falcon High in our office, which enables us to see real time what is happening, along our creeks and creeks, so that we can see when vehicles, when boats that are not paying duties approach us. So it has really assisted us. Thank you. Intelligence cooperation, we have very robust working relationship by other agencies of government that helps us for small. Thank you.
Yes.
why are you not saying that they didn't report to me?
I'm surprised to see it here too, because we are uniting them. Because we. It's okay, it's answering you.
I think the city have already clarified that and
Basically, the city